It feels like AI can do everything. Write the code, analyze the data. It can even suggest your next move. But there's one thing AI can't do. Think for your people. With AI, the real advantage isn't the tools. Anyone can do that. The real advantage is human readiness. That's why the smartest companies aren't asking, do we have AI? They're asking, can our people keep up? To build a learning program that keeps your people ahead, learn with Docebo. Docebo. Never stop learning.
Big news! Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on now, and you can score tons of huge deals. Like Wayfair's best deals since Black Friday. Right now through February 16th, you can score up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Like up to 50% off mattresses with fast and easy shipping straight to your door. Plus amazing flash deals on President's Day. Shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance now through February 16th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lou Need. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lou Need, and today I'm super excited to have a very special guest to the show today, Taralynn Baeza. Now, she is internationally recognized medical aesthetician, entrepreneur, and founder of Birds of a Prey Artistry and Aesthetic. She is located in Philadelphia. She has over 20 years of experience, clinical experience, and specializes in scar healing, paramedical tattooing, and advanced laser treatment, blending medical precision with artistic skills. I'm really excited to have her on here as she brings in a very unique skill set to the show. So with no further ado, Taralynn, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course. We love a hero's journey. Tell us how you got it all, how you got this started, and how you kind of combined the two. We really love to hear how it started for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always kind of been like an artsy person in the family, and I knew that I wanted to be in like beauty and the beauty industry in some way. But I had more like just like I have a very, very philanthropic heart. So like I wanted to do things that like mattered a little bit more. And I really fell in love with aesthetics. And I'm born and raised in Southern California. So that's where I got my degree for aesthetics. Mm-hmm. And I just like worked for some of the best spas down there. And then I eventually moved to Philadelphia for just like more career, opportunity, better quality of life. As a lot of people know, it's very expensive there. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And then there's a lot more that you can do with your esthetician degree in certain states that I couldn't do in California. But with that, like I've been a makeup artist since I was like 17 years old. At one point, 10 years ago, I got certified in permanent makeup to just add to my skill set of things that I offer. And yeah, I like kind of worked up my ladder. I wore many hats. I worked for corporate companies, like very large corporate companies in the beauty industry. I worked for spas and management trainers, stuff like that. And I really just like wanted to branch out on my own. And yeah, so I left the corporate world and just really just like put my heels deep into aesthetics again and permanent makeup. And I just continued to advance my career. The way my company kind of got its launch was I was like one of the first microbladers or permanent makeup artists in the whole city of Philadelphia and even like kind of the tri-state area. So I had a lot of attention and it just catapulted. So I was able to open my own studio and bring in all the aesthetics. And during the pandemic, I had to make a decision because I was like, are we going to keep just doing regular basic aesthetics, or are we going to do more medical advanced procedures, which my heart lies in and helps people? And so I took a leap of faith and I invested in lasers and other advanced modalities. And we really just catapulted. And it, we were kind of our first of our kind in the neighborhood. And there's no other place like Birds of Prey in the entire city of Philadelphia that combines permanent makeup and med spa services.
Yeah, location is key for you. Being a pioneer in that space where you are located. So yeah, I'm in I'm in San Diego. When
Right.
you talk about the cost of living and what you are capable of doing, how did you hear about Philadelphia initially? Were you just doing market research and just ended up out there, or you knew some people that lived there?
Yeah, so I knew a lot of people just through connections, industry connections, and I was kind of looking at a few cities and I just knew more people out here. I thought I was going to like go to New York and that would be a better fit for me, but I really just like more of a Philly person. So I just stayed here and just got better since I've been here. It's been 15 years. So
Wow, and it just feels like home.
yeah.
Now, you have a unique approach to what you do because you're helping clients get their dignity back, rebuild confidence, and you're treating, say, clients who get a sense of what themselves after trauma or medical challenges or things that could go wrong during a procedure. Let's talk about that because that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a lot of clients that come to me, for just basic, eyebrow or eyeliner or lip blush. But for a lot of people, it's like, again, like we're so busy in our lives. We don't want to take the extra work. There's a lot of people that have thyroid, alopecia. Maybe they are survivors of cancer and they are not growing eyebrow hair. And like our hair is such a big, like we identify
beauty
so much. Yeah. So I've been able to create that for people. And also I've had clients that were like, I had a lady the other day, she was like, I haven't seen you in a few years. She needed like a maintenance, like, cause they need color refreshes every like so often. And she was like, you know what? 3 months after I saw you, she's like, I was diagnosed with cancer. And she's like, the only thing that I had was my eyebrows. Cause you did them, before that, it's like, I would have never knew. She's like, but I was so thankful that like I did it before. And I do have patients that do come before they're about to start chemo and stuff with authorization from their primaries. But yeah, there's that. And then I have people that come to me with scars of any sort, victims of abuse, people that have had mastectomies, LGBT community, anything, C-section scars. And I can do scar like cover-ups, but my first approach is usually addressing the scar first so that we can smooth it out, get rid of discoloration, and then proceed if we need to do some sort of like like camouflage, but it's not the right fit for everybody. So that's my first approach. I personally have had surgery where I had some pretty thick scars. I had a breast reduction and lift a few years ago, and they're undetectable, from lasers alone. And so I have an ablative laser, which just is resurfacing, and there's one that lives in the vascular level. So it stimulates collagen and like wound healing and all that kind of stuff. And it's phenomenal what they can do. So I offer that. And then I do offer, areola tattooing. So people that had mastectomies, they lost their nipples and areolas, we can mimic the illusion of that. And so kind of just makes them feel like themselves again,
Does that fall under paramedical tattooing?
Yes. Yeah.
What else you do under that?
So scar camouflage and the areola. Yeah. That would be more paramedical.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like, I guess some more vanity stuff. I mean, is eyebrows, lips, eyeliner, but there's a lot of people, like I said, that have medical conditions that come for their eyebrows. They don't have hair that grows there.
Yeah.
So that would also fall into that as well.
Yeah. So there's like a need for it. It's not just a want. It's not a luxury for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And like a lot of insurance companies, unfortunately, they see it as a cosmetic procedure, so they don't cover a lot of these things, but I do offer highly discounted prices for people in need of this, and just to make it affordable and, and make their lives better, essentially,
Yeah. Let's talk about how it actually helps make their lives better in terms of like confidence and identity. You gave us the one example, like she was super grateful that she actually saw you and was able to kind of hold on to her eyebrows. What do you see people are coming in and being grateful for?
They're grateful that they have their confidence for sure. Like again, like I think that the hair on our head, our eyelashes, our eyebrows, like it's such a big part of our identity. And to lose that, it just kind of feels like sometimes you kind of feel a little empty, you don't feel like your full self. So it's like, I just feel like it's a comfort when it comes to, just confidence and feeling, like yourself.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to help people with that.
Yeah, I can see it for women who've had like C-sections or given birth and just end up with like massive scars that just takes forever to heal. I can see that giving them their confidence back, or part of their mommy makeover, taking their life back sort of thing.
Yes. And people get so excited too, like about like even just like the smallest things like eyeliner. They're like, I can't really see that well anymore. Like it just takes me so long to do this small thing, but like it's what I wear every day. And they are just like, it's amazing. Like it doesn't run, like it's just there and I could rub my eyes and it's like, it's not going anywhere. It's not smudging. And so
yeah, for eyeliner, I find that very interesting because they're so delicate, right? So close to the eyes. Are we going like in the eyelid or just on top of the eyelid? You know how you could do them separately and make it look like there's nothing there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a few different variations of eyeliner. There's a lash line, which just kind of sits behind the lash bed to give the lashes a little bit more of a pop and to give the eye shape a little bit more substance. And then we can go thicker with like the more natural liners with a slight wing or just like more detectable eyeliner. But yeah, it definitely takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of confidence to do that procedure. I know many artists of decades that they've done, like body artists and even permanent makeup artists, they will still not touch eyeballs. And I'm like, it's one of my favorite things to do because I just feel really confident. I know how to use my client. I numb them with medical grade numbing, and they're, they feel safe. So I always like make sure that my clients feel safe with me. That's a big part of like what I do as well.
Yeah, that's good to know. That I'm sure that's the number one thing they're looking for, right? Going into doing these procedures. You mentioned hair. I know the eyebrows you can get tattooed on. You mentioned hair. What do you do with the hair? Say if you have a patient who's going through chemo and losing their hair. How do you help?
So when it comes to, there is hair-like techniques. So think of just like art, like you're painting with a different paintbrush or like a marker or a pencil. So when it comes to permanent makeup, it's all a tattoo. There's just different tools that we use. So, for somebody that has no hair, we might not be able to usually do just strokes because it's not three-dimensional. You know what I mean? So there's like, we could do like stroke like hairs with a tattoo machine, like with a fine needle or like a blade, which is microblading. It's how it got its name. And the thing is it's all just different tools that we use. So sometimes, like I said, if there's no hair, we have to we can do some brow strokes, but we might have to go in with some shading to give it some, like character and some dimension. So most people do what we call a hybrid brow, which is strokes to give that fluffy look effect, but there's substance behind that skeleton of, strokes.
No, it doesn't get long. It's just attached to the head, right? So like a low cut, like a buzz cut almost.
No. So the tattoo, I'm not doing anything to manipulate the person's hair. I don't shave their eyebrows. I don't change anything. If they have hair, great, I leave it there. But I'm not actually doing anything to their hair. It's just mimicking the illusion of hair. Yeah. So it's like in the skin. So like think of like embroidery and then your skin heals over it. So any type of tattoo.
Fascinating. Fascinating stuff. So I know there are trends and advances in medical aesthetics right now. What excites you the most?
What excites me the most is, like I said, like I have such a huge love for permanent makeup and helping people with their confidence. I love just that people are getting more educated or aware of like things that they should do to, help their skin and work with like work with professionals and not just over the counter or through like TikTok and stuff like that, because our skin is so unique, just like we are. So one thing might not work for somebody else. So I feel like there's more awareness with like skincare, health, sunscreen, protective measures when it comes to skin cancer and just like anti-aging. Obviously, everyone wants to age slowly. So, yeah.
Yeah, very exciting. And it's changing and evolving just like anything else with technology, right? It's advancing so quickly. And so you have to be on top of the trends and the best practice.
Absolutely.
Within that space. Let's talk about your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up?
Yeah. So first of all, a good night's sleep is like huge for the next day. That's number one for me. I start my mornings a little bit slow. Like I like to take my time. I have 4 animals at home. I have my coffee, I might like watch a little something. I like to stretch, and I love to take a cold shower a lot of times, splash my face with cold water. And I really am a huge fan of like the facial globes for lymphatic drainage. So sometimes we wake up and we have a lot of like puffiness and lymph sitting in our necks, and it kind of adds to some bloating. So I really love grabbing those out of the fridge and doing like a lymph, massage to really alleviate any like fluid or inflammation in the skin. When it comes to my skincare, I'm very much committed to medical grade skincare. I do a double cleanse, usually with like a oil cleanser. And then for me, I'm like a normal to combination skin type. So I use a exfoliating gel cleanser after that. I use an exfoliant of some sort, very gentle, something that's able to be used daily. And then I use a vitamin C serum, which helps with collagen production, brightening. It also helps with free radical damage and protects your melanocytes from having hyperpigmentation. And then I follow that up with a moisturizer and sunscreen. And it's just moisturizer usually. And for like nighttime, I have my separate routines.
Yeah. Do you find it? You said that you kind of start the morning very slowly after a good night of sleep. Do you find it like that? Those first like 10, 15 minutes set the tone for the rest of the day. Then you're kind of more mellow and you're in control instead of the day running away with you.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah. Being intentional.
Yes. Being intentional, like setting the day, being like, okay, what am I focusing on today? And what can I save my energy for like other days of the week, instead of trying to pile all things in one, because as entrepreneurs, we tend to do that. So
yeah, wearing multiple hats, it's almost like inevitable, but you have to put in the effort to make sure you stay grounded and you pace yourself.
Yeah, you have to create boundaries for yourself for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Tell us, where do we connect with you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me. So our website is www.birdsofpreyartistry.com. And then on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, it's Birds of Prey Aesthetics. So it's a little bit different than the website name, but that's the best way to follow us, see our content. You can message us on all of those platforms, and there's booking links and stuff to view all of our services. Yeah. And I also do trainings too. So if anybody's ever in the field of wanting to do permanent makeup or advance their knowledge beyond medical, like beyond like aesthetic school for advanced aesthetic training when it comes to more of the medical stuff, because these offices, the doctors, they definitely want the students to have hands-on training that regular state schools or trade schools don't offer. So I do offer that for licensed professionals, and I do offer permanent makeup courses as well. So people that want to get into the same field and art that I do, and I have an open door policy with all of my students. So they're constantly mentored and have support for a lifetime. So
that's amazing. I really enjoyed our time together. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So nice to meet you.
All right, morning enthusiasts, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time,